Cambridge O-Level, it's summer 23 and paper 1, variant 2. 10 questions a day. So here we have the first question. A sample of iodine is at room temperature and pressure. We know it's not a giant lattice and the particles doesn't have zero kinetic energy at any level, and random movement is not possible in solid. So the only option which is the correct one is the particles vibrate about a fixed point, which is option D. Element Z nucleon number is given to you and it forms an ion which is with -3. So that means 3 electrons gained by the atom. So that means from stability point of view, then we have already 5 electrons and then gaining the 3 electrons, so it's group 5. So B option is the correct one. Naturally occurring bromine has relative atomic mass is 80 and the two major isotopes having 79 and 81. So bromine, what is the naturally occurring bromine? We deduce what type of information. So bromine contains the two isotopes in equal proportion. That is a more correct or accurate option, because 79 and 81, if it's in equal value and you're dividing it and getting the average value, then it's 80. Bromine has different oxidation state. No. Isotopes have different number of proton. No. Bromine is radioactive. It's not relevant here. Element X and element Y react together and they're forming a compound. We have the electronic configuration for X and Y. So it's 3. X has 3 electrons in the outermost shell. It loses 3 electrons and form a cation. And Y has 6 electrons in the outermost shell. So it gain 2 electrons and form, the anion. So the oxidation states X is with +3, Y -2. You just do the cross of these both values, and when they are we having in the subscript, then the formula becomes X2Y3. And because they are gaining and losing the electrons, so it form ionic compound. So the B option is the correct one, because two atoms each lose 3 electrons in case of X, and in case of Y, 3 atoms which receive 2 electrons and they form an ionic compound. So the B option is the correct one. Which molecule has the largest number of electrons involved in a covalent bond? Just count all the covalent bond and double value depict the electron number. So C in C2H4 we have atoms, 2 bonds within carbon to carbon and 2 with carbon to hydrogen. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 means 12 electrons are here. In carbon dioxide we have 4 bonds and 8 electrons. In alcohol we have 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. 5 means 10. And in nitrogen we have 3, so 6. So the A option is the correct one. X is the arrangement of bond around carbon in graphite. Y is in diamond arrangement. And Z is the silicon oxide arrangement. Which arrangement of bonds are same? So obviously graphite is a very different one. It has their hexagonal arrangements in horizontal forms. So diamond and silicon is very close. So Y and Z. So C option is the correct one. The next is, what is the equation for the reaction between sodium carbonate and dilute nitric acid? So the formula of nitric acid is HNO3. So obviously B and D option, you pick B and D options, and from B and D, D is the balanced equation. So for 7th, D option is the correct one. Which statement about relative atomic masses and relative molecular masses are correct? The mass of the different isotope does not affect relative atomic mass. They do affect, so this is the wrong option. Covalent compound have a relative molecular mass? Yes, they do. Relative atomic masses are compared 1/12 of the mass of the carbon. Yes, it is true. So second and third is correct. So C option is the correct one. Aqueous hydrogen peroxide, it decomposes and it gives you the oxygen and water. If you add the catalyst in 10 centimeter cube of 1 molar H2O2, and then 90 centimeter cube of gas will be released, and you have to calculate the yield of that. So whenever you want to calculate the yield, percentage yield, so you need theoretical its percentage and its actual percentage. So here we have the solution. So you have to calculate the number of moles, and we don't have mass or molecular mass. So the other thing is we multiply the concentration with volume. So 1 into 10 you will get the answer. Then you have to calculate the theoretical number of moles, which we can determine by the equation. So 2 moles of H2O2 giving you 1 mole of oxygen. So that means if we have 10 number of moles of H2O2, we get 5 moles of oxygen. Then we have to calculate the number of moles of oxygen through your value which is given. So we have 90 centimeter cube of gas which is released in the end, divided by its uh, the volume. So it's 24,000 centimeter cube, and then we convert it into decimeter cube, right? And here we have the actual yield divided by theoretical yield into 100, and you will get the result. You can see the steps one by one to calculate the value, and in the last stage we'll get the answer by applying the formula. Percentage yield is equal to actual divided by theoretical into 100. Actual yield be determined by the equation, theoretical yield by the values we have, and here we have the value which is 75%. Okay, so D option is the correct one. Here is the last one. The diagram shows the structure of the atom of two elements, X and Z, and not the atomic symbols for these elements. What we have to determine, the elements combine to form a compound, and okay, so that means X has one electron in the outermost shell and Z has 6 electrons in the outermost. So X has to give one electron to the Z, and there must be 2X. So 2X means 4. Its atomic mass is 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 plus 7, 14. And 14, 8 plus 8, 16. So 14 plus 16. So it gives you 30 value. So D option is the correct option. Here we go with the all 10 MCQs of the day.